on the eastern side of downtown Minneapolis at the gorgeous new U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. First carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition, because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Give him 5 on the... They run again with Peterson. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Bridgewater now from the 50. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face, because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
To throw is Bridgewater, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. First carry now. This is Lacey. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Rodgers going to give to Lacey on the draw. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
Now that's the kind of play just warms the heart of a former safety. When they call your number on a blitz, you're either going to wreak havoc at the quarterback or spill a running play, and that's exactly what happened there.
He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Rodgers. Finds his target, Montgomery. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes. Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that loss of yards there is not just on him. It's on the guys blocking for him. I mean, they're supposed to create some type of space or at least get a stalemate, end up letting them through, and they ended up tackling him for a loss.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation. Here, guys, you might want to try throwing it.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over. Because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. No guarantee, but you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now, will they keep that confidence? Time to find out. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
The completion was given up, and that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. It's caught by Treadwell. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you hand it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? They were planning.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Peterson alone in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. Second down, Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Here's Bridgewater. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll run with Peterson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game because on that particular play, they have
30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
If you love pressure,
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. Caught right side, Davis. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On 2nd down, Lacey. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The linebacker that time, Emmanuel Lemur, in on the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you get ready to tee off on the quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. but you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Rodgers now to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
All-star offense.
Rodgers to throw on second down. He's got his man, Jared Abbrederis.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a second at about a mile here. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. Completes it to Davis. 23 yards on the play.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
That is caught inside the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. Brief break in the action here. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner.
All-star offense.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. And again, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They pitch it out to Peterson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Let's go.
Second down, Bridgewater. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. Past the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Adrian Peterson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee. And that's at the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sharif Floyd forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now a 10th carry here for Lacy. And an alley to run. Eddie Lacy, see you later. He's at the 30. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And Nelson's got it here right side. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. This is fielded at the 27.
Return team. Automatic first down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. So this is the second consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
Only a pickup of 2, but that's all they needed for the first.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They run again on first down. Peterson trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Bridgewater now on second down. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's Bridgewater. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon. Peterson, just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go. Way 90.
To throw, Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Back to the ground, Peterson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
To throw is Bridgewater. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. Here's Peterson on 3rd and goal. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
This is where you're probably weighing the score and the clock. 3rd quarter, so maybe it's a little early to start worrying about how much time is left in the game. But if you kick the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A tough balance and a tough decision for any coach to make.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now Rodgers will handle Lacey. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch. But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a 3rd down attempt.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. And we put our attention now on the defense for the Packers. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously it could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here. Of course, making no more than that, they met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get into the end zone. And when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive? A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Let's go. 180.
Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. We have played 3 quarters. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4.
Let's go.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made.
Get ready. 180.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. That's caught by Treadwell. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give them 5 on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now it's Rodgers out in the flat for Starks. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And incomplete here on third down. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. As this will be marked out in 5-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Again, Peterson. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Time running out here on the play clock. Third down, it's Adrian Peterson. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Now the Packers get set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And
Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Sharif Floyd in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there and catching the ball. And with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get the third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Out to the flat for Lacey. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18 on that one. And it'll be a Green Bay first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jared Abbrederis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. So they fought half the battle here, but they're still down.
Plenty of work still left for them, but they delivered in the first step in their comeback attempt.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll be... And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to loop. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. They come up with an offset eye. They toss it left side to Peterson. So he got 3 on one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Back to throw. Caught right side, Davis. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. And Davis with it left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll look to throw. Finds his target, Montgomery. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
And that one incomplete as it stops the clock, reading 18 seconds to go.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, such a close game, a very big one. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it?
Just a bunch of poor boys, daddy's girls.